Hey everybody, welcome to day 26. And I just wanted to share a little bit about my day today. I got to spend it with a really good friend who's going through a pretty rough time. And it really got me to thinking about how a lot of the choices about how we react to certain situations in our life play a big part on how we feel. As I'm diving more and more into the personal development coaching, and the more I read, and the more that I study, and the more that I talk to people, I really see a lot of patterns that start to form in regards to why we stay where we stay, and the things that we ultimately when we ultimately make a choice to get out of a certain pattern, or to change maybe a particular behavior that we're doing. And it's pretty, the human existence, it absolutely fascinates me in why we do the things that we do, and what makes us better as people, and what makes us want more, and what makes us go for more. And that'll definitely be a lifelong study of mine. But I did get to ask some really good questions today, and I got some really even better answers in regards to somebody taking a look at themselves and really holding a mirror up. Maybe not wanting to let go of something, maybe not wanting to forgive something, but first, in our awareness, we need to be able to look at it and then decide what we're going to do with it. Because if we don't look at it, it's hard to change anything. It's impossible to change anything if we don't know where we are. So, I really got to go through a full day of intense questions, and I really appreciate this friend. I know that it was not easy to do, and it gave me a lot of insights in regards to, again, why somebody makes the choices that they make, why do they continue to stay in a certain place, and, when they are successful in different areas, what it takes, what it's taken for them to create some success and to move forward, and what it's taken, choices that they've made that's kind of held them back. And this person gave me, honesty in all of those choices. And, that's all that I can ask for. And like I said, it did provide me with a lot of insight as well, as I tell my clients, and I told this friend that I will never ask them more of them than I have asked of myself. So I know what these questions feel like, and I know what that healing process can be as really try and take apart some of these patterns and habits and all of that. And there are quick ways that you can change a thought process and get rid of an old one, which is absolutely fascinating if you look at the fact that these are just connections that our brains have put together. And you break that connection, you start a new connection, you reinforce that new connection, you've got a new pattern. And there are tips and tricks that you can do to speed that process up. And but it does take a little bit of courage, and it does take a little bit of bravery, and it puts us outside of our comfort zone. So being out of our comfort zone, again, I know I've talked about this in some other videos, but when we get out of our comfort zone, that's when we find growth. That's when we can transform. And in that transformation, we usually look back on the things that we were holding on to and wondered why we ever held on so long, or why we didn't make a new decision sooner. And that's not to say that once you get outside your comfort zone, that you face that fear, that there's not more life that comes and challenges you, because that's life, and life does that, and it'll teach you lessons. And if you can carry through that, and ask what the gift of the situation is, ask what the lesson of the situation is, and, really hold that in your heart. That practice gets easier, and your mind starts to focus on looking for that instead of focusing on the problem. So, when you're finding yourself in a low point in life, just remember a couple of things. Breathing makes everything better. It can be an anchor. So that's always the first step. If you're finding yourself in a painful place, stop and take some breaths. You know, become aware in your body and use that as a jumping point. There's space there. You can find peace there. You can find, a pause to that brain that gets so overactive. And, just a couple of deep breaths can give you a better perspective. It fills your body with new life. It fills your body with new circulation. And, it's a place to start. So, never feel like there's no place to go, because you can always come back to your breath, and you can always start there. And then from there, just stay open to the universe, and stay open to those questions that really propel you forward, because your mind is constantly asking you questions, and your mind is constantly answering them. And one of the things is if you're asking good questions, are you asking limiting questions? Are you asking empowering questions? Because if you can start to control that focus and start to control those questions that you're asking, that can really help you out of a painful situation pretty quickly. And not to say that it doesn't take time, and it does require work, and it takes practice. But the more diligent you are about controlling that focus, the more diligent you are about becoming aware of the questions that you ask, and not only that, becoming aware of asking better questions. You really, really, really will see your life start to transform and open up in such a beautiful way. So I just wanted to just touch on that a little bit tonight, and I hope that everybody has a really, really great night, and I look forward to talking to everybody tomorrow.